Okay, good morning. I welcome all of you to BTL 5 to 7 course, Introduction to Ecological Chemistry. Those who attended my class previously, so you know my system. And in this COVID-19 period, uh, we can deliver all lectures during the uh, term and take quizzes, assignment, as well as two midterms. But whether we can take final exam or not is not yet decided. I hope during this course we can have such a good decision so that we can complete the term uh, within the stipulated time. This course is would be much easier those who attended BTL 530 bioactive natural products. Ecological chemistry. Before going to ecological chemistry, uh, I think we need to introduce ourselves. From my side, I am a professor, and director of Institute of Biotechnology and Genetic Engineering, and I received my bachelor degree. I graduated from Bangladesh Agricultural University uh, in early 90s and also did masters. After that, I went to Japan for uh, higher studies and I did my masters again in biotechnology and PhD in applied bioscience. I had long time in Japan, Germany, UK, and USA as a postdoctoral researcher under JSPS, Alexander von Humboldt, Commonwealth, and Fulbright Fellowship Program. This is briefly about me, and if you are interested to know more about me, you can browse Tufajul Islam. You can find a Wikipedia page or our website and many other pages to learn our research, our major focus. So I think it is enough from my side. So other student who will start first PhD student, Shafi, please introduce yourself briefly.
Sir, thank you. My name is Hussein Sorawardi, and my also I have a nickname. My nickname is Shafi. I obtained my BSc AG degree from Pune University. After that, I took my MS in biotechnology degree from Bangladesh Agricultural University. During that time, I had an opportunity to work in Bina. During this time, I worked with salt tolerance rice. After that, I have another master's degree. It's called
No, great. Rahat?
in Bina. I worked with drought tolerance legume crops. With legume crops. Now I'm working as a plant biotechnologist in Lal Seed Limited.
Thank you so much, Sorardi, to our class as well as to our team. You have profound experiences and diverse experiences in undergrad, masters, and PhD study at different universities. So next, Rahat.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Abdullah Mahabub Rahat. I did my BS in agriculture from Sylhet Agricultural University, and I'm doing my master's in biotechnology at Institute of Biotechnology and Genetic Engineering, BS Samaru. Thank you.
Excellent. Next, as Kanis Fatima, please unmute you.
Yes, sir. Very good morning to all. Myself, sir, are you hearing me now?
Yes, you are audible.
Hello, sir.
Yes, you are audible.
Very good morning to all. I am Kanis Fatima, and I'm pursuing my master's degree in biotechnology in Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Agricultural University, and my BS was completed from Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Science and Technology University in Gopalganj in agriculture. Thank you all.
Great. Next, Sumaya Talukdar, can you hear us?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Yes, please introduce yourself, as this
Assalamu
is the first
alaikum.
class.
Very good morning, everyone. I am Sumaya Talukdar. I am a student of IBG and I have completed my BS degree from Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Agricultural University.
Excellent. Next, Joy Devnath. Please unmute yourself
Yes,
and.
sir. Thank you, sir. I am Joy Devnath. I have completed my Bachelor of Science degree from Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Science and Technology University in Biotechnology and Genetic Engineering. Now I am a student of IBG.
Excellent. And we have another student, Dr. Ruhul Amin. Doctor means he is a veterinary doctor. And for the first time, we received a student from the Faculty of Veterinary and Animal Science of BSMRU. And he is also very highly energetic man. So we have a small group in our course, Introduction to Ecological Chemistry. Now I would like to ask you a question, basic question. What is ecological chemistry? Do you have any idea about the course? Have you heard about ecological chemistry? Whatever you know, please share so that I can understand the level of your understanding. হ্যালো, জি আমি একটা ক্লাসে আছি, হ্যাঁ পরে কথা বলবো। So can anyone share what do you understand by ecological chemistry? Do you know ecology? What is ecology? No? Do you know chemistry?
Yes, sir.
Sorardi, what is ecology?
Ecological chemistry. This course is very interesting. It's not well known for me, but uh, I think it's an interaction between animals and plants or environment. Maybe something like that.
Excellent. Actually, ecology means interaction of different organisms living in the ecosystem, any ecosystem. Uh, Organisms and biotic and abiotic factors always interact with each other, and ecologists always observe the phenomena. But ecological chemistry is different than only ecology. Ecological chemistry uh, is the interactions between or among the organisms living in an ecosystem via chemistry. That means chemical substances, and they are mostly small molecules. That means in an ecosystem, all organisms interact with each other. Interact means talk with each other, cross talk with each other, even fight with each other by using chemical means, that is small molecules. And in this subject, we shall know in details about how different organisms in an ecosystem, even in the earth, interact with each other through a language called chemistry, so chemical language. And it is quite interesting. Actually, ecological chemistry uh, discovers lots of very, very interesting, useful information. Some of them are in practical use. For example, in agriculture, we control the insect by using insecticide, and insecticides are hazardous, and most of the insecticides we use to control the insects, they are they go to out of the target. 99% of the used insecticide fail to get the target insect, and they are absorbed by the environment, and it is a big burden to the environment, and environmental pollution is a big concern for human being worldwide. But uh, pheromone is an ecochemical. That means it is a signaling molecule produced by an insect for mating. So very small molecule, and low molecular weight substance, highly volatile uh, substance. Insect, for example, a female insect or male insect use it to uh, attract the female for the mating. So discovery of that molecule was very fascinating for the ecological chemist to understand how male and female insect talk each other and communicate with each other through very small signaling molecule. And it was not easy to discover such a molecule because they are incredibly low concentration, and only the a particular insect species can perceive that signal. Other insect cannot respond, and they have no receptor. So ecological chemistry, you can understand uh, uh, the molecules are very specific, and they are at very low concentration, and they are used to communicate with uh, 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 one organism to another. And pheromone is within the same species, communication within the same species by means of small chemical structure molecule. And scientists discovered it, and now you can trap the insect by using that molecule, because we can synthesize the molecule. And ecological chemistry has a robust and a very important application without affecting the environment, without affecting any other beneficial insects or the crop. uh, uh, you can trap the target insect and manage your crop. So this is one very simple example. There are hundreds and thousands of such examples how ecological chemists do. So ecological chemists not only discovered the molecule, but also discovered how the molecule is perceived by the organism, that is receptor and signal transduction pathway, and how this molecule can be synthesized in the laboratory to use at industrial scale. And obviously ecological chemists try to understand the receptor as well as the uh, molecular mechanism, that is genes involved in biosynthesis of such molecules. So lots of things are included in this course. Let us see some of the slides, then you can get more insight. uh, is it visible, the slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Ruhul, I mean, you are attending also. Fine. So our course title is
Yes,
Introduction
sir.
to Ecological Chemistry. Before starting, I would like to make a quote. We are arranged a civilization in where most crucial elements profoundly depend on science and technology. Uh, uh, Dr. Carl Edward Sagan, the philosopher, he said this statement. Actually, uh, uh, everything that we are using now, and we are living in the midst of science. And our agriculture minister, former agriculture minister Motia Chaudhary, one told us that we are eating science. We are eating science, we are living science, so around us everything is science. Ecological chemistry is also science, and we shall understand this fascinating subject today. Can you see here something? Here you can see as the some of the very bright colored uh, uh, cone snails, cone shaped snail. And this type of snails you can see in abundant quantity and diversity when you visit the Cox's Bazar in sea beach, because they are commercially used to make different ornamental substances. Coon's snail, it was a cover a story of a journal called Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. And here you can see incredible diversity in the pattern, in the color in the on their surface. And scientists discovered that cone snails belong to a genus containing 500 species of predatory snails. They are predatory snails, obviously, they eat other organisms. These snails produce small, highly structured, venomous proteins for capturing prey and combating predators. Active toxins containing a modified amino acid, gamma carboxy glutamate, as well as specific disulfide linkages. A proper folding of this small peptide requires the expression of protein disulfide isomerases to facilitate the incorporation of the several disulfide bonds. So this is a chemical ecology. That means cone snail use different venomous proteins. Venomous means very toxic, which can kill other organisms. And those venomous toxins are basically peptides or small protein to kill the prey. So this is chemical ecology. That is, chemical means to use to capture the prey. Here is the main paper, efficient oxidative folding of conotoxin. The toxins are known as conotoxin because cone snail is producing toxin, so the name is conotoxin, and the radiation of venomous cone snail. So this is one of the bright example. This paper was published in PNS, and if you are interested, even you can browse the paper. This paper is available in the internet. So in the world there are thousands of peptides scientists discovered. Peptides are the small chain of amino acid, and protein is the polymer of peptide. So ecological chemistry, let me show you the concept more elaborately. Chemistry, we know that chemistry is a subject which deals with the chemical substances from the natural sources, or chemical substances in the synthetic sources. So properties of the chemical substances, how they react with each other, and by the reaction of different chemical substances, they can make new substances. So chemistry is one of the very important subject of the human study. And chemistry is the subject for Nobel Prize also. Another subject is biology. Biology comes from two words. One is bios, another is logos. That means study of life. So life sciences. And in case of biology and chemistry, so you see in chemistry there is one branch called natural product chemistry. And in biology, there is chemical ecology. So natural product chemistry, chemical ecology, they are quite synonymous. Chemical ecology means the ecology of chemistry, chemistry of the ecology. That means in the ecosystem, different organisms, when they interact via chemical substances, is called chemical ecology. Natural product chemistry means, for example, toxin, I showed you. For example, vitamin C, we get from the amloki. So uh, any chemistry or chemical products we discover from the nature is called natural product chemistry. For example, penicillin, life-saving antibiotic discovered by Alexander Fleming from the Penicillium notatum, a fungus, is a natural product chemistry. So natural product chemistry, chemical ecology, they are cross or cross fertilized discipline, and result the ecological chemistry. And here you need basic knowledges, and natural product chemistry can be used in the industry, medicine, in agriculture. In agriculture, I told you the pheromone. So chemical ecology and natural product chemistry are linked in a productive partnership aimed at classifying the chemical basis of ecological and behavioral interactions in nature. To curtail natural products chemistry, now it is on the whole the acquisition of this fundamental knowledge. Now let us start the main keyword of your course, ecological chemistry. The last 3 decades have been witnessed the exciting development of cross-fertilization of such diverse disciplines as ecology and biochemistry. Ecological chemistry, this new discipline and research subject, originated from two disciplines, actually, cross-fertilization of two disciplines, that is ecology and biochemistry. You can say marriage between ecology and biochemistry is called ecological chemistry. Marriage between ecology and biochemistry is termed as ecological chemistry. Ecological chemistry is a discipline of research which deals with understanding of the complex interactions between and among different organisms in a given ecosystem via chemical signals. So it is very clear, ecological chemistry, this subject originated from the cross-fertilization of two disciplines, two subjects. One is ecology, another is biochemistry, and it deals with the chemical substances that are involved in complex interactions between or among different organisms in a given ecosystem. For example, a marine ecosystem, thousands of organisms are living there, and each organism has some chemical communication system, so to talk with the other members in the ecosystem. So ecological chemistry is still at infant stage, because lots of things are still unknown, how organisms are communicating and interacting with each other in a complex ecosystem like marine ecosystem. For example, Sundarban ecosystem, lots of organisms are there, and every organism talk with each other by using chemical means. So what would be the contents of this course? Concept of ecological chemistry, various kinds of ecochemicals, biochemistry of pollination, plant toxins and their effects on animals, hormonal interactions between plants and animals, feeding preferences of invertebrates including insects and vertebrates including man, plant defense and animal response, animal pheromones and defense substances, ecochemical interactions between higher plant versus lower plant interactions, molecular plant microbe interactions, and last phytoallergen and plant immune system. That means the plant has also immune system, and some of the immunity factors are small molecules. So these are the major topics we shall discuss in this course. So study of the chemicals involved in interaction of living organisms, we can say ecological chemistry. If you elaborate the concept of ecological chemistry, chemically mediated interactions between organisms are pervasive at all levels of biological organization, from microbes to humans, across all biomes and habitats. This is very interesting. That means ecological chemistry is everywhere. For example, in your house, mosquito and human interaction, mosquito, how mosquito finds you even in a dark room, because our body excretes some gaseous substances, and mosquito antenna can perceive that signal and follow the gradient of the signal released from the body, and they can easily identify the human even in the darkest room. That means it is an ecological chemistry. Um, and mosquito and human interactions, although it is an antagonistic interaction. There is a huge scope of this subject. The development of ecological chemistry has been augmented due to the application of modern chemical techniques to biological systems. Because in last century, chemistry has been progressed significantly by the discovery of different, spectroscopic method like NMR, nuclear magnetic resonance, mass spectrometry, and so those gas chromatography, those methods, highly sensitive methods, allowed ecological chemists to identify very small quantity of the signaling molecule. And also due to the awareness of ecologists that micro quantities of chemical substances and particularly secondary metabolites such as flavonoids, alkaloids, tannins, terpenoids have a significant role in complex interactions occurring between animals, a plant or parasitic plant or microorganism, and so on. That means in the ecosystem, some secondary metabolites. What are secondary metabolites? Secondary metabolites are, metabolites that derived from the primary metabolite of an organism. Primary metabolite like, amino acid, or primary metabolite like glucose. So secondary metabolites are compounds present in the some organisms that, like flavonoids, alkaloids, tannins, terpenoids, hugely abundant in plants and insects and other organisms, even microorganisms. They are not involved in growth and development of the organism, that is producer, but they are involved in the fitness of the or communication of the organism. For example, plant has beautiful flowers, very colorful flowers, fragrance in the flower, and this fragrance as well as the color attract the pollinators. So this is one kind of communication, and they are the secondary metabolites. So this is a small example. Uh, Signaling molecules, their functions, biosynthesis, signal transduction pathways are the major scope area of the research in ecological chemistry. Biochemical adaptation of plants and other organisms in adverse environment. For example, when a plant is adapted to a saline environment, it has some adaptation mechanism to cope up with the toxicity of the salinity. In some cases, small molecules, ecochemicals are play a very important role. Detoxification of genobiotics. Genobiotics means man-made compounds, synthetic compounds that are not naturally available or are not naturally available in the natural system or organisms. So, for example, DDT is a genobiotic. So, pesticide, herbicide. So, detoxification of mechanism of the genobiotics by using different microorganisms and macroorganisms, it is called biotransformation. Because when you apply any pesticide, herbicide, Many organisms they react. They use different enzymes to detoxify them and break down them into the non-toxic substances. Biochemistry of plant pollination and productivity. This is very important subject in agriculture and nature, because plant pollination is a fascinating area and very important for the agricultural productivity in the cross-pollinated crop. And the biochemistry is ecological chemistry. Biochemistry, to understand the biochemistry and pollination, is also a very big scope of ecological chemistry. Defense mechanisms of plants. Plants has some chemical weapons to ward off the pathogen and insects, and it is called defense mechanism of plants against other plants or other insects or other animals or other microorganisms. So in most cases they use chemical weapons to ward off the organism, because plants are sitting duck. They cannot move away like other organisms. In that case, they fight against the enemies by using the chemical signals, and they are ecochemicals. Feeding preferences of insects and animals. Every animals or insects have limited, food ranges. For example, as human, we take our energy and nutrition from 15 to 20 species, although there are more than 400,000 food producing plants in the world, but we choose all over the world. You can see 15 to 20 species only. So these preferences, why these preferences are limited? It is associated with the ecochemicals. Insect, rice insect never infest the jute. Even in any animals, they have the limited host, how to say, food ranges. Limited species they eat as food, and others are restricted by the ecochemicals. We shall discuss this co-evolutionary mechanism, how it happens. Hormonal interactions, many plants can produce different hormonal substances. Even human sex hormone can be produced. Some of the plants can produce human sex hormones. Some of the plants produce hormones which are essential for the development of the insect, like addyson for insect metamorphosis or like that. Hormonal interactions taken place in the insect. I told you the pheromone. These are the subject of our study. Co-evolutionary arm race. When this is very interesting. When a plant produce a toxin to stop eating by a herbivore, herbivore also try to adapt to it, and there is a co-evolutionary arm race. Herbivore, produce some enzyme to detoxify the toxin produced by the plant. So these are the arm race. We shall discuss how uh, 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 attacked by a toxin, counter attack by another toxin or another detoxifying agent taken place. Application in sustainable agriculture, environment, and health. Ecological chemistry has profound, application in sustainable agriculture, environment, and health. In human, there is a very big industry called perfume industry. Perfumes, all perfumes are originated from the ecochemicals discovered by the scientist from the nature, and then made the perfume. Lots of industrial application are there. Many antibiotics are also, ecochemicals. Let us familiar to a new term called semiochemicals. Not semi-chemicals, semiochemicals. Let me correct it. It should be semiochemicals. Yes. Semiochemicals. This word comes from two words. Semion means a signal in Greek, is a generic term used for chemical substance or mixture that carries a message. So semiochemicals always carries a message. These chemicals act as messengers within or between the species. They usually used in the field of chemical ecology to encompass pheromone, allomone, chiromone, attractant, and repellent. These terms are new. Pheromone possibly very easily you can understand. There are some other terms, allomones I shall define, chiromones, and attractant. Attractants you can easily understand. For example, flower, color, and scent attract the insect. Repellent means bad odor. Some insect, for example, bugs, sting bugs, they release very bad odor toxic substances. These are the defense compounded ecochemical to repel the enemy. So all insects use semiochemicals. Possibilities of the application of such new information in the control of insect pests and microbial diseases in crop plants in a biorational way have been stimulated scientists for the conservation of natural communities. Let me discuss a little bit about the pheromone. Already, a pheromone, it is also comes from a Greek word, phero. Phero means to bear, and a hormone from Greek word, which means impetus, is a secreted or excreted chemical factor that triggers a social response in members of the same species. So pheromone and hormone, there are some differences. Pheromone excreted from the or secreted from the body, and it functions on the other members of the same species. Uh, but in case of hormone in our body also, hormone release and they move through the bloodstream and works inside the body, not excreted from the body. The term pheromone was introduced by Peter Carlson and Martin Lusher in 1959, based on the Greek word pherein, to transport, and hormone to stimulate. So these are the concept of pheromone, and lots of pheromones are now industrially being used to safely control the insect. Pheromones are chemicals capable of acting outside the body of the secreting individual to impact the behavior of the receiving individual. This is very, very important, and you can easily understand. Pheromone is acting outside the body of the producer, and it is secreted from the body, and it is perceived, the signal is perceived by the other individuals, maybe mostly in the same species. They have the receptor, and then it worked on it. German biochemist Adolf Butenandt characterized the first such chemical called bombicol, a chemically well characterized pheromone released by the female silkworm to attract the mates. So bombicol is the first pheromone discovered by scientists from Germany. So we shall discuss more about pheromones, and here are some, I shall give you some more link, because there is Ferubase. Pheromone has a database called Ferubase, and they are mostly small molecules. Size is very small. General size of pheromone molecules can be limited to about 5 to 20 carbons only. And why they are small molecules? Because pheromones are excreted from the body, and they are mostly volatile compound. For example, an insect release a pheromone to attract the other insect. It does not know where the insect is, so it needs to diffuse through the atmosphere air, and then the other insect can perceive it. Molecular weight of pheromone usually range between 80 to 30 Dalton. There is this is because below 5 carbons and a molecular weight of 80, very few kinds of molecules can be manufactured and stored by glandular tissues, because to make a small molecule, less energy is required for the producer producing insect. Above 5 carbons and a molecular weight of 80, the molecular diversity increases rapidly, and so does the olfactory efficiency. Uh, Once you get above 20 carbons and a molecular weight of 300, the diversity becomes so great and the molecules are so big that they no longer are advantageous, because bigger molecule, they cannot travel through the air. So they are also more expensive to make and transport and less volatile. In case of insect, they are no more advantageous. In general, most sex pheromones are larger than other pheromones. In insects, they have a molecular weight between 200 to 300, and most alarm substances are between 100 to 200. That means pheromones are not only used for mating. In some cases, insect and other organisms produce a pheromone signaling molecule to warn others, called alarm pheromones. Alarm, to give the alarm. If you throw a stone to a honeybee hive or wasp a hive, you can understand lots of honeybees will come and bite you, because once one honeybee sensed it, immediately it released the alarm pheromone, and that alarm pheromone tells all the stories to the others, so that they can rush together and attack the enemy. So application of pheromones to monitor pest population to determine if control is warranted, to alter the behavior of the pest or its enemies to deter detriment of the pest. Pheromone based insect control have many advantages. Already pheromone trap. A pheromone trap is a type of insect trap that uses pheromones to lure insects. Insect pheromone and aggregating pheromones are the most common type that we have been using. A pheromone impregnated lure is encased in a conventional trap such as delta trap, water pen trap, and funnel trap. There are lots of trap. This is the last slide for today's lecture. So pheromone trap are like this. In the crop field, we can use sticky substances that that contain the pheromone, and insect come and stick on it, and you can trap them. There are lots of different trapping mechanisms. So this is all for today's lecture, and I hope you will enjoy the journey of introduction to ecological chemistry, because it is pervasive, and it is everywhere. Not only for the agriculture, it is applicable to any branch of science and any activities of human. So this is all about my talk. Now you can ask some question and we can make it more interactive. Unmute yourself and ask a question. Rahat, do you like to ask a question?
So, sir, you talked about the isolation and synthesizing new chemicals. During culturing rice blast pathogen Pyracularia oryzae, I observed that some other fungus inhibits the growth of the Pyracularia oryzae colony formation. So can we isolate this pathogen fungus and find what are the molecules that are inhibiting colony formation of Pyracularia oryzae?
This is great idea. I visited Imperial College, where first antibiotic penicillin was discovered in 1940s or like that. Penicillin was accidentally discovered by Alexander Fleming. He was working on Staphylococcus, a bacterium causing human disease. But once he was, observing his petri dish uh, uh, and opening the window to see whether growth is okay or not, because bacterial growth colony, some of the bacteria, they are diffused on the agar medium, nutrient medium, and he wanted to get more light to see it. But during observation, and when he kept for further incubation in the incubator, he found that some of other organisms, are growing in the on the agar medium, and around that organism, no bacterial colony was seen. That means totally antagonistic to the bacteria, which is a dangerous human pathogen. And he immediately surprised, and he thought that this fungus might and he didn't know at that time it is a fungus. And he immediately talked with the microbiologist and a chemist, and they examined, and they found that it is a mold that is penicillium, and it possibly produces some chemical substances, ecochemicals, to stop the growth of the staphylococcus. And that was the starting point, contamination as you observed in your plate. And then he, with a microbiologist and chemist, they isolated the Penicillium notatum as a pure form and cultured it. And the culture fluid they tested in the culture medium of the staphylococcus, and found that it is very powerful in suppressing the growth of the staphylococcus. And finally, they discovered the penicillin, a compound they named penicillin. And it took, more than 10 years to get the acceptance by the scientific society that it could be used as a drug. Actually, Oxford University people, they participated, and even they prepared the molecule in the laboratory through synthesis. And it took 10 years, but finally, when he tested it in the animal model, infecting with staphylococcus, and he found that it is a magic, and it is a silver bullet, and first antibiotic was discovered, and it saved billions of life. So Alexander Fleming, he got the Nobel Prize, and it was a big discovery. So in your case, if you find some other fungus can significantly stop the growth of the Magna Porte or IC rice blast fungus, and you can isolate it, and you can check whether what kind of compounds it is producing, and it would be a good discovery. And in our ecological chemistry course, what you can do, you can take some photograph and show us in the next class, and then we can discuss more. Thank you. Next, anyone?
Sir,
Thank you.
sorry to interrupt, sir, but I have another class at 11:15 a.m. with Professor Dr. Jalaluddin
So
Ahmed,
you
sir.
can join that class, and we shall start another class also 11:20. That means now we are 11:22. So I shall take 5 minutes pause, and then come to the another class, that is BTL 611, right, Shafi?
Yes, sir.
Okay. we shall start another class also. So any specific question do anyone have? Otherwise, we shall close today's introductory lecture of ecological chemistry. Yeah.
Good morning, sir. I have a question.
Yes, please.
So today
Fatima,
class we
you can.
have
Yeah.
okay, sir. Last recent last few years we have noticed the several outbreak from the dengue, chikungunya. So these are actually vector-borne diseases, and mosquito carries these types of virus. So how can we control? Can we control this mosquito by using pheromone, or what can be the effective method to control Aedes? I know that you have also discussed during this epidemic about the Olbachia-based control.
Hmm. Yes, Wolbachia is very nice, biological tool to control the insect vector that carries different disease pathogen, Wolbachia. But I'm not sure whether in case of mosquito, specific pheromone trap can be used because mosquito breeding ground is so diverse. But even though some ecochemicals we can use to trap the or repel the those insects. We shall discuss later on, and please browse if there is any news available on this topic because mosquito really uh, uh, a notorious insect carrying lots of disease causing organism. Thank you, good question.
Thank you, sir.
Any more question? If no question, then we shall go for a 5 minutes break, and then I shall start, probiotics, prebiotics, and postbiotics course. Today I have three lectures. Actually, we may, uh, how to say, edit the class routine so that we can get some more time for having a lecture to another lecture. Thank you. So after 5 minutes, please join who are a student of BTL 611. After 5 minutes, I shall come back after having a cup of coffee. Thank you. See you.